Salute, greetings. Today, we're going to explain, it's not a theory, but it's an actual fact of how the United States is not legit. A bunch of gangsters are in control. These gangsters hire professional gunmen, they call the military, the police, to keep the regular, average, everyday person in line, telling them you can't do what we did. Now, we done robbed you and enslaved you and murdered you and tortured you, but you can't do that. You know, you can't do it like we did it. You say, what the hell are he talking about? Well, we were talking about vibrations. And, but it's something that you need to understand before you could use the powers within you. You got to learn how to be God. You got to learn how to use the powers that's within you. And that's where all the prophets came to tell you, and all the messengers was trying to tell you that you have powers. But they were also letting you know that it's a difference between right and wrong. And the right has manifested itself as a being, and the wrong has manifested itself as a being. The wrong is weaker than the right. And that wrong manifested itself as being the Caucasian. So the right want to know how the wrong, how the wrong rules. Well, that's kind of complicated right there. So let us go by uh, Adam and Eve. We'll use that as an example. Allah was showing them around, and he told them, Adam and Eve around, and he told them that tree that's in the midst of the garden, the tree of good and evil, don't eat from that tree. That's like saying right and wrong. But the tree represents a man, or the man represents, well, the tree represents a man. And the man is like a serpent, very sneaky. And the woman represents the softer side of man and the weaker side of man. And so the serpent went after the woman first. And the commandments of God, after the serpent got through whispering in her ear, she disobeyed God, and she ate of the tree. And then she gave that fruit, so-called fruit, to Adam. And Adam fell prey to her. Now, the serpent was weaker than Allah. The woman is weaker than the serpent, and the man is weaker than both the woman and the serpent. What's that got to do with what I'm getting ready to talk about is this. Read that. The real truth of the matter is, as you and I know, that the financial elements in the larger centers has owned the government ever since the days of Andrew Jackson, President Franklin D. Roosevelt. This is what's happening today. This is one of the causes of them manufacturing a COVID virus, manufacturing trade war, having trade wars period. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad told you that the white man's rule was over with in 1914. That's not too long after they signed the Federal Reserve Act, when they put the Federal Reserve Act in motion. And so they've been printing up Federal Reserve dollars. Now Andrew Jackson, why they say Andrew Jackson? Because he didn't want no central banks in the United States type of government, because it was supposed to be a constitutional republic. But you see, they turned it into a democracy. So that's the war between Biden, or he represents the Democrats, and Trump, capitalist, socialist, communist. And the Illuminati, they represent the Federal Reserve. Now, we've been living under the rule of the Caucasian so long, it's hard for us to separate from him. We got to separate from him mentally. So we got to raise our vibration levels up just a little bit more. And we do that, we can do it with knowledge. And this is why Allah came in the person of Master Farah Muhammad, to give his wisdom to a messenger from among us that didn't have a lot of knowledge. So we're going to break it down a little bit more in the next video. That one is called the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. But when you look in the Bible, you'll see just before the ending of the Old Testament, the beginning of the New Testament, they mention Elijah. We're going to open our next video with what those Bible verses are saying at the ending of the Old Testament. This is Black Light.